You here were prepared by the Secretary of the Suwannee County Republican Committee after soliciting input from its membership, the CCDP, and the mailing list. The questions will be short and to the point. That, by the way, is aimed at me. In all probability, there will be time for 10 to 14 questions in this 2-hour period. We do want to get this done by 9 o'clock so you can go home and check the primary results. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to give the audience information about themselves, their name, where they live, their employment position, education, etc. Not particularly to make a statement to begin with, or an opening statement, but just to give some personal information. By the way, Mr. Sutherland will speak first, and then Mr. Scholl, and then Ms. Olchner, and then we will rotate through as we go through each question. So each one will have an opportunity to be the first speaker. These were decided by flip of a coin. I will be asking the question, and all candidates will express their views and positions, and you will have 2 minutes each. We will be asking you to focus on the question, be specific and not stray with the remarks. Rebuttals will be permitted at the moderator's discretion. Again, it depends on how things are going and how things are flowing. We do have a timekeeper here. Let's have a round of applause for the timekeeper. Now, at the proper time, the timekeeper will give a 15-second warning. As a matter of fact, you will hold up that card so that you can wrap up your answers at the 2-minute mark. You will be asked then to terminate the comments, and at the end of the questioning period, each candidate will have 2 minutes for closing remarks and to make comments as appropriate. Then we will have final comments from myself and Carl, and we'll thank everybody, and then we'll let you rush for your cars. With that, let us get things started. And with the opening informational statement, Mr. Sutherland, and I believe you have a handheld mic, to each have mics, so Mr. Sutherland, please begin.
Very good. Thank you very much. What a wonderful night to be here, and I thank all of you for your presence. Again, because I only have 2 minutes, my name is Steve Sutherland, and I'm a part of a family that's been in Florida for a couple hundred years. Before Florida was a state. And the last 5 of those generations, we have been in Panama City, Florida, Bay County. And that's where I met my wife. When I was 6 years old, she and I started first grade together. We graduated, went all the way through school together, graduated together in high school, got married in 1987. And in 1989, we started having our family. And I now live in a home with 5 women because all 4 of those children were girls. And but if it weren't for Bandit and my yellow lab, I would truly be in trouble. We have a wonderful family. In Bay County, there are 21 immediate members of my family. And through the 21 of us, we all derive our substance from the 3 small businesses that we own and operate. In 1955, my grandfather started Sutherland Funeral Home, and I perpetuate that. I'm the 3rd generation in that business, following my father and my grandfather's footsteps. My business partner is my sister and her husband. So I'm a licensed funeral director. We also are in the timber business as well as in the granite business, so we sweat a payroll every Friday. We understand how difficult it is for small businesses around this country who derive 85% of our economy. And we understand the challenges because those challenges apply to us. And it is wonderful to be here. I thank you for your presence tonight, and I look forward to visiting with you in the next 2 hours. Thank you.
Mr. Scholl.
How you doing? It's good to be here tonight, and I appreciate you folks gathering to come on out and let's chat with you a little bit. My name is Dave Scholl. I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. Like our president, spent a few years there, and then unlike our president, I grew up in the good old USA. But what brings us here tonight? It's a common thread. It's a thread that runs through each of us. It's a thread that forms the fabric of this great nation, and that thread is love of country. And for me, I found that thread early on in life. My father was career Air Force. We grew up in Alexandria, Virginia. And growing up as a child, my mother, she would take us on family field trips. We would tour the grounds of Mount Vernon. We'd walk the battlefields of 1st and 2nd Manassas. We'd stroll across the hallowed ground of Gettysburg. Early on, I was filled with a sense of awe of how truly great and amazing this country is. So much so that I followed in my father's footsteps. I went off to the United States Air Force Academy, graduated from there in 1981, and I served 28 years in the Air Force, 9 years active duty, 19 in the reserves. Highlight of my career was flying F-15s over at Eglin Air Force Base. I now fly for Delta Airlines. I live with my wife, Shelley. She's sitting there in the back. And we have 3 wonderful children. We live over in Niceville on the far western edge of the district. I'm in this race for one reason. I love my country. I've served her for 28 years, support, protect, and defend our Constitution. I'm troubled by what I see up in Washington, and I wish my mom were still with us today. If she was, she'd take them on a tour. She'd take them over to the History Museum at the Smithsonian. She'd show them the statue of Washington as you walk in. She'd point out the original Star-Spangled Banner. She'd take them upstairs and show them the great inventions that was created in this America. The phone, the telegraph. She'd even show them Al Gore's internet. She'd take them by the Hall of Presidents, and she'd say, these men were great, not because of themselves, but because of what they inspired in every American. And then she'd bend his ear, and she'd say, your job is to inspire these Americans. But more importantly, she left a reminder in all of us. We can all be great, and the government's job is to inspire that greatness. Thank you.
Now, Ms. Olson.
Hey, I'm Barbara Olshner. Thank y'all for having us today. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. I live in Walton County, which is at the way west end of this district. I live in a little place called Old Seagrove. I'm about 3 blocks from the Gulf on a dirt road and in a clump of old oak groves. My mother's 91. Grew up on a farm in North Carolina. She tells me she spent her whole life trying to get off a dirt road and can't believe why I want to live on one. But I love it there. I moved there permanently in 2001. I had built a house there in the 90s. I graduated in North Carolina from the University of North Carolina, Charlotte, with a Bachelor of Creative Arts. I then, someone said this last night that kind of hurt my feelings, but it's true. I then played professional tennis, as they said, in my younger years. So I didn't like hearing that, but it was absolutely true. I played professional tennis on the Women's Avon Futures Circuit, which was the satellite circuit. I got beat so much I never could get up to what was then the Virginia Slam. Most of y'all might remember that tour, but I played on the Southern Circuit. When my tennis career was over, and actually I probably hung on too long because it was a lot of fun, I went to Cumberland Law School in Birmingham, Alabama, which is where my daddy went to law school when it was in Lebanon, Tennessee. I graduated from there and started my own law firm. I was the managing partner and the founder of Olshner & Hart. When I closed down that law firm in 2001, we employed over 30 people. I'm a courtroom lawyer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm what we call in the business a stand-up lawyer. I have 15 seconds. I don't know if there's a 10-second one there or not, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you and give you more information. Thank you.
And thank you, Ms. Olshner. We'll start now with the questions. These are in no particular order. Again, these were all selected from questions researched by the county, the REC and the CCDP. Question number 1, and Mr. Scholl, you will be the first to answer, then Ms. Olshner, then Mr. Sutherland. Question number 1, what is your position on the recently passed health care bill? Should it be left alone? Should it be replaced, reformed? And if you would especially address the idea of insurance across state lines and tort reform.
Obviously, healthcare, front and center on everyone's agenda. Day one in office, I'm going to sign off on the Michelle Bachmann bill that calls for a complete repeal of the healthcare bill. And we know what we need for healthcare to work. We need to have it based on a free enterprise system. Specifically, you mentioned insurance across state lines. If we could tear down that federal barrier that would allow us to shop on the internet, that's obviously going to bring down the cost. But this healthcare bill is more about power on the federal government's part than it is about providing health care. They sold it to us on a bag of lies. They said it was going to be deficit neutral, and we know now as the numbers come